Hey guys, I'm here with John from Hyper Monkey Fitness.
And I'm here with Mr. Stephen Fick from Davenport European Martial Arts.
It's good to see you guys. We're glad to be back. We're doing another video. This one's on a cut this time. We're going to look at some cuts and then the muscles that allow you to throw the cuts and do a powerful cut, but more importantly, not hurt yourself.
Yes, because it would be cool to be able to like throw a cut and have your arm fling and go in revolution and hit somebody, but you know, you wouldn't be able to throw a cut anymore.
And you only get two options, two chances at that.
Correct. So it's pretty much, you know, ride or die.
Right or left?
Okay.
Alright, now let's talk about how we throw a cut. What muscles are used and how you protect yourself. When I started, it was 1989, and our swords were made out of leaf springs. Didn't know better, didn't have any other equipment that we could get swords from, so our swords were stupid heavy. And if you didn't protect your body when you threw a cut, all that weight would hurt you. And it has hurt many people then and now.
Oh yeah.
When we throw a cut, I'll start off with the long sword. When we throw a cut, our natural inclination is to, like an axe, just throw it out there. The problem with that is all that energy has to go somewhere. We have three kinds of cuts. We have a shoulder cut, which is movement through the shoulder. We have the elbow cut, which is mostly through the elbow, and then the wrist cut, so we have movement through the wrist and the fingers. Any good cut with the sword is a combination of the three. If I start up in woman's guard, posta di donna, my shoulder's up high. As I begin my cut, my shoulder comes down and then slightly forward, so it's in line with my body. Then my elbow takes over to extend, then my wrist extends to complete my cut. So I have all my body and all my muscles working together, full extension, without ever locking my arm in place.
Well, here's a question, Steven. Now, does that look different when you're using like a single-handed sword or even like a bigger sword like this right-handed?
So if I'm using the Zweihander, or in the Italian, the Spadone, this is an old Del-Tin piece. So this one's 8 pounds, about the same weight as my old leaf spring sword, but much longer.
Pretty huge.
And when I throw this cut here, if I'm doing it from the shoulder, it's really pulling everything forward,
See that?
all in the core, and I try to tense up my core, but it doesn't do me good because it's pulling my shoulders past my hips. So when I'm throwing this kind of blow, it has to be from in here, and my shoulder has to stay with my body. As soon as it leaves my body, you can see everything that happens, and I can feel the stress right through here.
Right in front of that delt. Yep.
Yeah. If I do it with a one-handed sword, like the side sword, the same types of actions are happening, but the body works in unison. And it sounds weird, it's kind of counterintuitive, but it's a good way to move your body when you're throwing a cut. My shoulder goes slightly forward while my elbow goes back. And it never leaves. When I say my shoulder goes forward, but it doesn't leave my body. It doesn't overextend. It extends to my body position, allowing me to get that full extension.
That's pretty awesome. Now, if you don't mind, Steven, can everybody pay attention to what's going on between the shoulder and elbow as he does this? Can you do that a couple more times, sir?
Here we go, we're up there, and I throw that blow, and you can see the arm, again, fully extended, never locked, the hand and the wrist in line, all in one line, and still connected to my torso.
Awesome. And you can see all that energy traveling throughout that sword as he's doing this. But can you do me a favor? Can you run through that extension with that strike with this right hand there? Because it looks so cool. Then I'm going to talk about what's going on as he does that.
You just want me to hold this in front of me, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. I like the big swords. Now, I want you guys to look at what's going on here. Now, any sports performance coach or what have you who's kind of worked there, whatever, they'll tell you that everything's from the ground up, or actually from the hips going down and going up. When he threw that cut, because of the weight of the sword, his activation started in the hips. But that's going to be for another video. In this video, we want to look at what's going on with his shoulder, right? His arms and his back. Now, when you are throwing a cut, you're running for extension in the arm, in any type of sport, like say you're throwing a baseball, throwing a football, swinging a bat, or swinging a sword, you're going to be utilizing muscles in your posterior chain as well as your anterior chain. There are 3 muscle groups that we're really going to be focusing on. We're going to be focusing on your traps, which is the muscles on the top. They help to kind of depress that shoulder down. We have the rhomboids, it's next to your scapula, your shoulder blade, and your spine. They kind of pull you back and in to create a support structure for the shoulder and deltoid. And then on the anterior side, we have the serratus, which kind of lifts up, if you remember from our last video, and it actually creates like a break for the extension of that arm. And when these 3 combine, they hold your scapula into place, which helps to hold your chest and your shoulder and lock it in line. And when you throw that cut, it supports you so you don't overthrow that shoulder. And if that shoulder misses when you overthrow, it's going to go straight to your elbow or to your wrist. Now, you saw what a good strike looks like. Now, let's show you what a strike would look like with somebody who hasn't done sword work quite often. We have a guest here who can help us out with that. Okay.
We'd like to invite and thank Shannon. So let's use the long sword to start off with. So if you'll put your sword on your shoulder, your right shoulder.
Don't worry with me.
Pull this back just a little bit and pull these arms back.
Okay.
Now, throw a cut towards the back. Good. Do it again. And now as you throw the cut, go ahead and step forward. Good. Go back. Do it again. One more time. And move back just a tiny bit. There we go. All right, go ahead. Perfect. So now, I'm just going to put my hand here so you're not supporting all the way. And John, you want to look at what's happening in the body.
Totally. So if you guys notice here, right, do you mind taking your hand off really quick so you can see? A lot of that weight's being supported on his forearms and his elbows, and you can go ahead and his back. Once he has that base point on the other side, he gets to relax a little bit, but all of this is going towards his grip. Now there's, you know, if you do any type of sports like say tennis or golf, you have golfer's elbow, tennis elbow, which is basically a pain and inflammation on the medial side of that elbow. If all that energy is supported on this side, the contraction's happening here, it's going to usually cause something like that to happen. Also, as he's running through extension, you can see what's happening with his back here. We were talking about the traps, we're talking about the rhomboids, and we're talking about the serratus. Now, as Stephen was saying, I have worked with Shannon quite a bit, so I do know a little bit about what's going on with his body. You can see that energy traveling forward. I'm going to do a small adjustment on his back, get him to activate his rhomboids a little bit more, and then you'll see what happens to this chain. So I'm going to have him pinch back. Now you notice, and you push your shoulder slightly, and good, and tighten your serratus. There you go. Sometimes you have to do a few changes to get the one you want. Once he's activated his rhomboids, once his traps depress that shoulder, that energy, right, can travel straight through and he doesn't have to overload his forearm. So if Stephen takes his fingers off, it doesn't look as stressed as before.
And what's interesting in this, you can tell he's tired. And that's cool because in a sword fight you get tired.
Yeah.
You do. The more tired you get, you can see the shoulder rolling up and his elbow rolling out and up, which is affecting his shoulder. Let me go and take that so you can relax. And then shake it out.
And shake it out, man, shake it out.
So the heavier the weapon is, or if it's not heavy, but you're tired, it's very easy to hurt yourself.
Correct.
In order to keep ourselves from getting injured, we need to build up the muscles that allow us to do this. For that, I hand it over to John.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for joining us this month for our video. It was a lot of fun. I hope you learned something in throwing cuts and what muscles to use.
Especially not hurting your shoulder doing it.
Right. Next month, what are we doing, John?
Next month we're going to be working on ascending cuts, or what is this called again?
In the Italian tradition, it's called a sottani, a rising blow.
You're going to know how to be able to throw that cut while keeping your body stable and not falling off as you're extending.
And at the same time, being able to get full extension of your arms and what muscles in your core and your body support the extension of your arms.
Yeah, see you next month.
See you then.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. We're done.